In today's installment of learning to play the violin, this is not one of the ideal days, if I'm being honest. This is one of the days where it feels like you've been practicing the same things for just a week too long, and it's starting to get really monotonous, and you feel like you're not really progressing anywhere. Even though you can think of how great it would be to have all this improvement, it still feels like, in a way, that you're very stuck, that you're not really going anywhere, not much is happening. But despite that, we're still going to practice. We're still going to show up and do all the practice we need to. And so, against my will and everything that I stand for, I've managed to practice some string crossings and some more sit. And now we're going to practice a little bit of spiccato on Kreutzer 7. Kreutzer 7 is this etude. You usually play for martelé and string crossings, right? Something like that. But it's also very useful for the spiccato, because one of the main reasons that a spiccato may not work when you need it to in a piece is that you cross strings or you change bows, right? When you have to cross, it's much easier to cross down bow to a higher string, right, than it is to cross the other way. So this is easy, up bow to a higher string is much harder, right? And so by working a spiccato on this etude in various bowings, up, down, 2 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, you get spiccato at different speeds and spiccato at different levels. So that should theoretically help a lot. Again, it can feel very hard when you're trying to work on something so like abstract as an etude and sort of just hoping with a faint idea that it'll improve your playing in the long run. But either way, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with 2 notes. So it goes and a break to cross strings. Now we switch to triplets. Dum bum 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 bum. And pay attention to the sound, because sometimes it's not so good if you don't cross all the way. Now the same. Now the same up bow. That's hard. Now let's do just triplets. That really is hard to get right. What else do we have? We'll go from the start in, no, we'll go in fours though. Try to make a feel for the bow bouncing on its own. You don't force or control the spiccato. And from the arm. Yeah, that's much nicer. I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but I can definitely feel the difference when the spiccato comes from this sort of arm motion and it's not as controlled. Well, you have to find a way to control it, right, to make it bounce on the right string and the right time. But you also have to find a way to do that while letting it bounce on its own. Okay, from the start in 4, faster 4. I'm getting much more of a feeling now for this sort of arm movement. I mean, I think this has been a good overall practice session. I mean, not just the spiccato, but everything else I've done today, because it's quite a message, I guess, that you, even if you don't feel like you're doing the practice, even if it feels like it's a day like where you'd rather do anything else but practice on that day. You'd rather just not. Like whatever it is, anything else would be better than practicing. But if you really have the goal in mind and you want to improve on the instrument and you want to be able to play this music and get out all that this instrument has to offer, you need to stick with it. You need to stick with that practice all the time. And that's what I'm doing. And you notice it, even just at the end of that practice session or after a few minutes, you feel as bad as you can, as unmotivated as you can. And within a few minutes of actually getting to practice, you feel a bit better. You start to feel that you're getting back into it. Okay, I'm going to practice some more of that, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy practice.